Hello, today we're going to be going over how to install one of the templates from cherwellportals.com into your Cherwell environment. I'm going to feature our Splash of Color template, which you can find on cherwellportals.com. Here it is. So, this portal sells for $500. It's basically a skin for your home dashboard. Everything is editable. All of the text can be changed to fit your business needs. Everything you see here will be imported with the map, so all of the icons, graphics, all of the elements will be in place once you install the map. So let's get started. I have already went through the process of downloading the files. You can see here my downloads folder. This is what you get when you go through the process to purchase the template. First thing you need to do is extract all the files, and you'll find a map file as well as an instruction document. So I'm going to take the map file and I'm going to move it onto my share drive so I can access it from my Cherwell environment. Alright, so here in Cherwell, I'm going to log into the Orange client, the Cherwell administrator, and I'm going to select Apply a Map. So I'm going to select the Splash of Color template map that we copied over, and I'm going to go through the process. I'm going to accept the terms. Usually I keep it on make reasonable decisions, but ask me if unsure. That way nothing important gets overwritten without my knowledge. So this is a summary of what's going to happen when this map is applied. So the dashboard, our Splash of Color home, is going to be imported. All of the images are going to come over and be imported. And then certain widgets that are out of box are going to be overwritten unless you have taken these out-of-box widgets and made significant changes to them. All it's going to change is I've removed the title off of them and I changed the font size and that kind of thing. So, okay. And then it will create a blueprint here that I need to save and publish. So I should go ahead and click Publish. I'm going to call this is my rollback, just in case I overwrite something that's really important. I don't think that would happen, but you never know. Your team may have went in and made significant changes to one of the, maybe the discussion widget or something like that. So. Okay, so the blueprint has been published. Go ahead and log into the Blue client now. Go up to Dashboards, Dashboard Manager, and now you'll see a file in the Global folder, or another folder in there called AMP Templates. That's where our new dashboard is housed. So I'm going to go ahead and right click on it and select Edit. And here's where you can go through and really customize it to fit your business needs. So I'm going to make it so we can see it all in one shot here. If you want to change any of the text, just select the text, and then up in the upper left you can go ahead and edit. Like I said, everything in here can be changed. You might not like what you see here, so go ahead and change it however you need. I did have one person who purchased this template and they wanted a search button here, so they just grabbed the widget and dragged it over, resized it, going to center this with the text box above it. Here we go. The other thing to keep in mind is that this template is set, it's anchored so that it'll be centered on the page when you view it in a browser. So any new elements that you add, any new graphics, text, or widgets from the side, you need to make sure that everything is anchored top. And how you do that is you right click on the element, go to anchoring, and just select top. Now if you wanted everything to be aligned left, you would select left. If you want everything aligned to the right, which I'm not sure why you would want to do that, you can select right. So we just want everything centered, so we're just going to select top here. And one way you can do that very quickly is by doing a Control-A to select every, and that will select every element, right click, anchoring, and select top, and that way you know everything will have the same alignment when you view this on the browser. Okay. So if you want to swap out an image, you can just select the image and click on the camera button, and then you can go ahead and you can import new graphics through this process. You can change it if you wanted to use one of the other icons that are in the system. You can go ahead and change it. If you want to remove something, you select it. Say maybe you don't have approval set up right now and you want to remove that, go ahead and select and just hit delete. When it comes to the links on the buttons, they are actually layers laid over the shapes and the text and the graphics. There's another layer that's here. I'll move it up real quick so you can see it. It's clear. It doesn't have an outline, no text in it, anything. So in order to set your button or your link, keep in mind that every button here has one of these clear link layers laid on top of it. So you'll know that you have the correct layer selected if you right click and it has a widget properties option. Then you know that that is a link layer. If you select something and right click and that option is not available, you should realize that that is not the link layer. So right now, like the report an incident, make a request, both are going to the out-of-box standard new incident form. But the account lockout, password reset, hardware assistance, software assistance, and new user buttons, there's nothing set for these. So if you right click and go to widget properties, there's no action assigned here. So that is kind of one thing that you and your team are going to need to create are those one steps. And typically what would happen is you would create a one step where the categorization is all set in place on a new incident ticket for those specific items. So that's a little bit of homework you have to do on your end when you purchase one of these templates and you're getting it all set up in your system. You just need to come in here and right click on the link layer and select the whatever action you want to have happen when someone clicks on those buttons. You can change the text. Maybe you don't want your users to be able to request a password reset off a button. Maybe that's not a frequently requested service for your business. You can swap out the icon and you can change the text to whatever you need and then adjust the link layer accordingly. If you want to add a new link layer, I'll show you how to do that real quick. So on the sidebar under shapes, there's a link widget. You drag it over and default has text in it, says link. You could always keep that there and you could adjust the text within the layer to read something like "click me," and you can adjust the font to be any type of font you want, size, color. You might want it a different color, so you can adjust it in any way you like, and then you right click on it, and that's where you set your link action. But for the buttons that we have here, we obviously didn't want any text. You could just delete all text out, and now you have an invisible layer that is a link, so you could lay it over anything. This is very much like PowerPoint, so if you set this like a clear layer on top, you just need to make sure that you bring it to front, and that's where these little buttons come in handy. So the selected clear layer you just like to bring to front, and that way when mouse is hovered over it, that's what's going to be clicked on a web browser. So right now the major issues widget that I have populating is top problems. So as your technicians are going through the tickets, they might identify items as top problems, and then that's what would populate here. And then announcements, the widget I'm using is just the out-of-box discussions. So if you're not using discussions, you can replace that with something else. You could have it show your open tickets and just change the text to say, let's say, my open tickets, and then you delete that widget, and then on the sidebar up here, you'll see that you can find my open incidents and requests. Drag it to the size that you'd like it. I always remove the title out of there because I have a stylized title above it, so I don't need that in there. You can change the font and then color if you'd like. And I think I forgot the S here. There we go. So that it's centered on the page. So let me uncheck left, just keep top, like everything else. Okay. Now for the fun part. If you go back to the Orange client and go to the Site Manager, and you edit the select edit on the site, this is where you can go in and you can select your new dashboard for show on startup and then show on login. Here. You can choose any of these themes. I usually go with, I don't know, Cupertino. That one usually works well. The banner here, you can change the color of the banner. This is where you see Acme up here, and the color, so you can change it to whatever you'd like. So I don't know, let's find something that kind of matches our theme a little better than gray. You can set if you have an image for your logo. Right now it's using the Acme logo. You don't have to have anything up there, so I'm going to remove it so nothing is shown. Same here, I don't want any logo. Footer, I don't know if you'd like to have a footer. You can go ahead and select show footer and adjust it how you need it. Menu, this one's important. So when you go into the menu options for the home button, you should set your splash of color to be the home. Okay. And then I'm going to just restart the portal so I can see my changes. And then I'm going to access it. Okay, so you can see the new template is in place. Keep in mind that major issues and all the other widgets, like the incidents and request widgets, are going to show 0 or not populate anything until you've logged in. There you go. I have 1 incident and 1 request. Items here. Report an incident. This widget we have set up there is just to create a new ticket. One of the things that you might want to do is change this background color or get rid of it altogether because it doesn't match your theme now anymore, right? Like that's the Cherwell 8.0 theme. An easy way to do that is just go back into the site manager, right click and edit on the site, and then where it says view is set to portal default. If you go to portal secondary, hit OK and restart again. Just refresh. Okay. Login. Good. And then I'm going to create an incident. And now that graphic is gone, and it's just very basic, so that will probably work. The other thing too is when you create a ticket, it's just something to keep in mind. Okay, submit. Okay, I've created a new incident. When you hit OK, it's going to go all the way back to the original out-of-box portal home, which we don't really want to have happen. When you create a new ticket, and to prevent it from going back to the out-of-box home, what you need to do is go back to the orange client, click on create a new blueprint, managers, 1 steps, make sure incidents is selected, search for submit, and go. Go ahead and right click into submit, edit, and you'll see the last step is portal home, and it's going to portal default, which is out of box. So you need to go back to splash of color. Okay. Once you're done, close. Okay, so now you can go ahead and publish the blueprint that you just created, and I'm gonna call this the submit button. Roll back. Okay. Close. I'm going to restart the portal. Okay, we'll log in. And I'm going to report a new incident. Okay, I don't know. Email's down. This is affecting everyone, and I can't do my work. Submit. Okay, it's created the new ticket, and now I'm back to our Splash of Color homepage. So that's about it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Visit Cherwell Portals, see all the selections we have and designs, and good luck.